even if you compare ourselves to our neighboring countries, especially Ethiopia and even Uganda, really. But part of the reason why our cost of power is high, is too high, is the exorbitant amount of commercial and technical losses that Kenya Power, especially, incurs. Kenya Power loses up to 23% of the power it buys from the generators. Okay? In other words, it doesn't sell. Almost 23% of the power it buys from the generators.
Inefficiency and recklessness.
Yes, there are many factors.
You must assure the country that this will stop.
This is going to be managed. I can't say it will stop, Honorable Speaker, because in any scientific process, there can be losses. But they have to be reasonable losses, Honorable Speaker. Yes. So we are going to work closely with the KPLC, and I'm happy, Honorable Speaker, by the work the KPLC management is doing currently. As a matter of fact, I'm privy to the information that they have done some turnaround. I'm not allowed by the rules of the CMA to get into details. But they have done some turnaround, and they may post some good figures in the coming...
Don't be prejudiced by briefs you have received. You'll get there and learn.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm just being optimistic.
Yes.
And giving the country hope. To borrow your words.
Yes. Okay. Continue.
Honorable Speaker, let me dash to the question, by Honorable Dawood. Murugara.
Murugara first.
Murugara, yes. Honorable Speaker, it is true, there have been historical injustices. Okay? And we must work together in terms of addressing these injustices or these imbalances. We must correct them. That's systematically. But I must also throw a challenge to my colleagues in the National Assembly, because I'm aware that this lopsided allocation of resources, especially on energy and electricity, is also coming from us in Parliament at the budget time. The agencies, the ministries, are receiving printed estimates with figures which they cannot change, they can't touch, which figures are scary, Honorable Speaker. You find one constituency being allocated upwards of 400 million Kenya shillings, while another one is getting a paltry 10 million Kenya shillings in the same financial year. So we must also actually do some introspection as a house to help us in the ministry, if and when I am approved, to deal with this issue. You know, once you bring printed estimates, the ministry, the agencies have got no leg room. They have no room to maneuver. Okay? So these imbalances, these injustices may continue as we watch, Honorable Speaker. There is also the issue of solars for schools. There is currently a very robust project being undertaken by REREC, the solar for schools. We want to follow through this project to ensure that at least every school in this country is able to benefit.
Point of order. No. Point of order.
George?
Me. Point of order. Solar has been tried from time immemorial. It works only for 1 month, 2 months, it just dies. And those schools will remain in the books of KPLC or whoever that they are connected through solar when actually it is not working. So it doesn't make sense whatsoever for Kenya Power or for RELEC to introduce or to go back to that solar business. Let us get connection to the national grid so that we also assured of constant electricity supply.
Point of order, Chairman, on the same.
Yes.
And you know, this was done mostly from the regions I come from. It is so that if you do electricity, the households around the school also are connected to power. But now if you give us solars, you're just giving to the schools, they're vandalized, they're not working, and you continue to marginalize us on issues to do with electricity. We don't want the solars.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order.
And it is vendor-driven, the solars.
Yeah, point of order, Chair. I just want to urge my colleagues that, you know, the nominee is actually a nominee. And we are addressing the nominee like the CS for energy, a decision we are yet to make. Because the pressure is on him now dealing with solar versus, regular energy. So
No, it's important for him
The
to know.
probabilities. We are working on the probabilities.
You are being warned of landmines ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I've taken note. Yeah. I've taken note, Honorable Speaker. Let me just proceed quickly to Honorable Dawood. Yes, I've gotten your point on the possibility of moving from oil-based transformers to something else. I need to check with the technical people to be able to give some feedback on that. Honorable Speaker, there's an issue raised, the Honorable Dawood raised, on the Kenya oil refinery. Did you mean refinery or the Kenya pipeline?
Oil refinery with the pipeline.
Yes. You know, I am aware that the Kenya oil refinery has or is in the process of being acquired by the Kenya Pipeline Company. I will need to get into the details as to the rationale behind this, but I still foresee a very big role for the Kenya oil refinery, at least its installation. Firstly, in terms of the processing of the crude oil, if and when it finally flows from the South Lokichar, yes, to Mombasa. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, I have come to the realization that this country does not have provision for strategic reserve of oil. That we can actually one of these days wake up and find that we can't bring oil to Mombasa. And then after some few days or weeks, we are ground to a halt as a country. So I think this facility in Mombasa can still be useful in future, once we work on the strategic oil for the country that can last for at least 90 days. That's the best practice universally, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
You have not answered if KPLC can do the fiber accompany. Would
Yes.
it be possible or not?
I will also pursue this. Yes. Honorable
Mary
Speaker, yeah.
Emase.
Thank you. Nominee, you've talked about customer satisfaction. I put it to you that KPLC customers are the most dissatisfied. And I want to believe that there are serious management challenges to do with the leadership of KPLC. Why do I say that? A simple task, but of urgent nature, like restoring a falling post or a collapsing post, goes a time bomb. It can collapse any time, it posing danger, and in certain instances it has occasioned deaths.